them too, so just quick glance at them too. You have to show my audience. Okay.
I think I did it. Hold on.
Hi. Okay, so my name is Malerie Garza, and I'm going to give a persuasive speech on organ transplants, or just being a donor in general. Have you or someone you know ever needed an organ transplant? Have you personally ever considered being an organ donor? Maybe the thought has never even crossed your mind. So picture you go to your doctors for a routine doctor's appointment, and come to find out you are going through early stages of kidney failure. It's early stages, it's not diabolical or anything, but you will need to be on dialysis until you get a new kidney. So you're placed on the donor list, but you have a rare blood type, so it's going to be longer than a normal wait time. Alright, so how amazing would it be if someone was already on standby to donate, because we have so many willing participants to give a kidney to help somebody in need. Me personally, my husband had to consider being a donor once. His mother started suffering from kidney failure and needed a kidney back in 2015. She had a rare blood type, and of course they looked to the children first. My husband was a match, but fast forward several months later, he and his mom decided not to have him donate. Well, because we had 3 children at the time, and we considered their needs. If for any reason any of our children needed, a kidney and I wasn't able to donate, he would want to be willing to donate. She ended up being on dialysis till she finally got her kidney last year of 23. Today I will be discussing the problem with the lack of donors available, how many groups are trying to help with this problem, and what our community would be like with and without the support. Of course, I pray no one in this room ever has to go through needing a transplant. The wait for a recipient and their family members can be overwhelming. There are many families going through this at this very moment. A lot of them actually being small children. We all have small children in our lives, so just imagine if one of your children were in need of a transplant, and how it would affect you personally to have to watch them go through that. The lack of donor is a serious problem. It is found on donatelife.net statistics. More than 100,000 people are waiting for life-saving organ transplants. A person is added to the transplant list every 8 minutes. Having a room full of complete strangers deciding which person needs a transplant the most is hard to wait for. To every person with somebody who's waiting on a list is always going to be a priority to that person. So having to wait for somebody who doesn't even know your situation is difficult, because you're going to feel that yours is more important than somebody else's. There are a lot of deaths due to not getting a transplant fast enough. Deaths due to not getting a transplant is really high. We have a major problem with a shortage of donors than we do with people waiting on the transplant list. I found on the National Center of Biotechnology information challenges in organ transplantation. There are many more patients waiting on transplants than there are donors. 16 people die every day while waiting, and that's about 5,600 per year, just waiting to be able to receive some form of a donation. There is a possibility that this could affect you, because you never know if you're going to be somebody who's going to be put on a donor list, having to wait, or having to watch one of your loved ones wait on a donor list. So now that we've discussed the problem, let's go ahead and discuss how we ourselves can become donors. Becoming a donor can not only save someone's life, but would be a big blessing to you. To know God put you in someone else's path so you could help give them their life back or to save a loved one. What actually I think would bring joy, not to yourself, not to be selfish. You can donate from blood, tissues for transplants such as skin, bone marrow, and blood forming cells, a kidney, or even a partial liver, because your liver can grow partially back. You can even be a donor after death. If something was to ever happen to you, just let people know that you wanted to be a donor, and you can donate so much more after death and help so many more lives. I know a lot of people think, someone else will volunteer, somebody else will donate, but with everybody thinking the same thing as far as somebody else jumping in to save and help people, it causes a lack of volunteers to donate. You would also think that they would go straight to the family, considering they're a family, they're closer in being a match than anything else. But again, too many people think that way. And as far as for family, from Match.org, from BeTheMatch.org, each brother and sister who has the same parents as the recipient who needs to receive the donation, has only a 25% chance, so that's 1 in 4, of matching with you. 70% of people don't have a fully matched donor in their family. So it's hard to get that donation if the family is not 100%. Now that we have talked about the problem, the solution, let's move on to what could happen if people just decided they don't want to donate. Without donors, the less chance we have to save lives, and the more deaths we'll have due to people waiting for somebody like you to donate. You will have parents having to watch their children die a slow death while waiting for a match. And what parent wants to go through that? With more donors, the better our chances are to give these people back their lives and to give children to even have a chance at a life. So we discussed the problem with the lack of donors and how we can volunteer and help. Now I call you to take action. Put your name on a donor's list. Check that box off at the DPS office when you go and renew your driver's license, or renew your license plate, or even just put donor to your living wills. Talk to your family about being a donor. You can also go to www.donatelifetexas.org, BeTheMatch.org, or unos.org to register to be an organ donor, or unos.org transplant if you were to do a living donation, which is while you're alive and you want to donate something. Registering to become a donor is easy and doesn't take long. Becoming a donor not only changes the life of the person receiving the donation, but it will also change the life of the donor. There is a lot to consider, of course. It's life altering. But once you register, you are just that much closer to saving a person's life and giving peace of mind to their family. And that's it. I just want to thank the websites that helped me find out the information, which is BeTheMatch.org, DonateLife.org, the ncbi.government, the organdonor.gov, and the TransplantTexas.org. Thank you, and I hope that you will consider being a donor to save a life. My name is Malerie Garza. Thank you.